Then make sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
If you want to stay on top of your health, one simple thing to do
is take the pledge to go and get screened for the cancers that might affect you.
So stand up to cancer and take the pledge at GetScreenedNow.org.
It only takes a minute to take care of yourself, and nothing rhymes with org.
Talk to your doctor about your health and screenings that are right for you.
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio at westernreserveradio.com on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream.
After a week off, by all means, is back here on Western Reserve Radio, Season 4, Episode 38, 158 episodes overall, presented by Mill Creek Golf Course. Visit millcreekmetroparks.org for more information. Find us on Facebook, Western Reserve Radio, on Twitter, at WR_radio. Download the Live 365 app or TuneIn. Go to westernreserveradio.com, all part of the iMeda1 network. And I've got my high school football partner in studio. I will say this, Mr. Clark, this is the first unimpromptu guest we've had from the studio. Usually somebody just shows up and sits down and starts talking. So we talked about doing this probably during the end of the high school playoffs.
Yeah, we sure did. And it's interesting for this year.
So what we are going to do is we are going to go over all 41 bowl games. We're going to talk about some. We're going to pick all of them. But here's the intriguing fact. I don't know if you noticed, looking at this list I sent you. Mm-hmm. Of all the bowl games, the day the most games are played in a single day during bowl season is this Saturday. It's not New Year's Day. It is this Saturday. There are 7 bowl games this Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. with the first game, going all the way through to a 9:15 kickoff. So let's just get underway. Let's start picking these games. I know you spent hours doing research on all of these intricate broadcasts, and you're ready to run the table and get all of these correct, right?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, we start
the first one
with the Myrtle Beach Bowl, Georgia Southern and Ohio. And I remember when Georgia Southern was 1AA playing YSU in the playoffs. That's been a few years.
Yeah,
I will go with Ohio because that is where I wanted to go to school, but was never smart enough to go to school. So I will go with the Bobcats. What do you say?
Well, I'm gonna take Georgia Southern. I'm gonna jump on the other side of the ledger.
All right back into it to the Cricket Celebration Bowl. Howard and Florida A&M in Atlanta on ABC at noon. I will take the Rattlers of A&M.
Yeah, I'm going the same way.
All right, we continue rolling on. The RL Carriers Bowl, ESPN 215, Saturday, Jacksonville State and Louisiana. I'll let you go first because I don't know what I want to do yet.
Well, I'm going to take Jacksonville State.
You know what? I will go with you on that one. All right. The AvoCare Mexico Cura Bowl, Miami of Ohio and Appy State, Orlando, Florida, 3:30 ABC. I'll stick with the MAC. Give me Miami of Ohio.
Well, I'm going to App State. They always know how to come up big at the right time, so I'm going to go with them.
All right. At least we have some differences already. The Itzela, New Mexico Bowl, New Mexico State and Fresno State in Albuquerque, 545 ESPN. I'm going to go Bulldogs with Fresno State.
Yeah, I think the coach is leaving after this year. He's been there for quite a while. I'm taking him also.
The Starco Brandis LA Bowl. I think this was the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl of last couple of years. UCLA and Boise State. I watched a little bit of Boise in the conference championship game over the weekend. They're playing good ball right now.
Yes,
Give me
they
the
are.
Broncos.
I'm going to go with UCLA is so up and down. I think I'm going to go with the Broncos, too.
The Radiance Tech Independence Bowl. Wow, some of these bowl games. California and Texas Tech from Shreveport, 9:15 on Saturday. What say you, sir?
This is a tough one here. And I've seen both teams, but Texas Tech can put points on the board. So I'm going to try them. I'm going to try them to get the pack.
We're both going to go Red Raiders on that one. The famous Toastery Bowl, Monday at 2:30 on ESPN. You got nothing else to do on a Monday afternoon. Western Kentucky and ODU in Charlotte. What do you like?
Well, I'm going to have my toast ready, and I'm going Old Dominion.
That really good quarterback at Western Kentucky, he's still there, right?
I think he is still there.
I will take Western Kentucky and the very unique mascot that they have. The Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Man, UTSA, so University of Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners against the Thundering Herd of Marshall.
Oh, that's a good one. I've seen them this year, too, both teams.
I haven't seen Marshall yet this year.
Yeah, I've seen them. Not bad, but I think I'm going to go UTSA.
You feeling Roadrunner? So am I. Let's see. The roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl, South Florida and Syracuse. So Syracuse fired Dino Babers. They named their new coach. I don't know who is actually head coaching this game, but I'll take South Florida.
Yeah, me too. I'm going there too.
The Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, Tampa, Florida. Next Friday, 6:30 ESPN, Georgia Tech and UCF. I'll let you go first. What do you think?
Well, I'm going UCF. Central Florida.
Any particular reason?
Well, I like this. Always been able to score.
Right.
I've seen them play a little bit better defense. In Georgia Tech, though, if they get their running game going, that'll be a problem then. But I'm going to stay with UCF. I think they can put enough points on the board to win.
See, I'm going to go the opposite of you, and I'm going to go with Georgia Tech. I watched them a few times down the stretch. That's a team that definitely has gotten better over the last couple of years, and they definitely got better over the season as well.
Yeah, they did. They did. Now, that's definitely true.
The 76 Birmingham Bowl, Troy and Duke in Birmingham, December 23rd at noon on ESPN. On ABC. Duke, of course, without their quarterback, rumors he may end up at a big school in Indiana. And we'll just leave it at that. That got a transfer this past year. They may get another one this year.
Yeah, and now you're talking about the quarterback that got injured.
Yes.
Oh, man, he's good.
Right. That's just rumors. I don't know anything. That's what I read on the X.
See, he's not quarterbacking that game.
No, he's not.
I'm concerned that they do got players, though, and they got a good defense, but I'm going to just try to upset with Troy.
You're going upset with Troy?
Yeah.
I hate Duke and everything. So, I'm going to go with Troy as well because I enjoyed when my Wildcats beat Duke early on in the year. Now everybody's beating Duke, and it's not as special.
Yeah, it's not the same.
They're off to a terrible start.
It's not the same.
The Camellia Bowl, Arkansas State and Northern Illinois, Montgomery, Alabama, Saturday at noon on ESPN. Next Saturday, not this coming, the 23rd. What do you got?
I'm going Arkansas State.
I will agree. I think this next one is interesting. We'll have a minute to focus on the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. That is in Fort Worth, Texas, December 23rd, 3:30 ABC. James Madison and Air Force.
That is a good one.
Air Force had a nice year this year. James Madison had a great year for them. But they were embroiled in, we deserve to be able to be in the playoffs. The people were getting sued. All kinds of things were happening. And then the Colonials lost a game late in the year to lose their perfect record. I don't know how much they want to be there in that game. It's going to be one of two things. They're going to be there to prove a point, or they're going to get housed. It's one of the two for me.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is a hard one, too, because Air Force can just spoil anybody. But I'm go with what you just said. Maybe they want to show that they need to be somewhere else. I'm going to go James Madison.
And I'm going to go Air Force. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Georgia State and Utah State. Back in the day, I loved watching Utah State at night in the WAC with all their great quarterbacks, particularly one that's still unemployed, looking for a job.
Yeah.
If any team would be interested in maybe giving him one. So who do you like, Georgia State or Utah State?
I'm going to go Georgia State.
I don't think Utah State is as good as they've been in the past, so I will agree with you. In the 68 Ventures Bowl, it's South Alabama, Eastern Michigan, Mobile, Alabama, December 23rd. Man, that's a big bowl day. 7 o'clock ESPN. Who do you like?
Wow. South Alabama kind of like being at home against Eastern Michigan. But Eastern Michigan, they're not bad. I've seen them a couple of Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights. But
thank goodness for Maction on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
But South Alabama, I'm gonna give them the opportunity because they basically kind of at home.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that one. Now we'll start to get into some of the bigger schools. Okay, the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl, Utah Northwestern in Las Vegas, December 23rd, 7:30 ABC.
Utah.
Blowout.
Yes.
I think this might be the most lopsided game of any we have talked about so far.
Put a little check on it because I'm gonna put a B by it. Blowout.
That game could be ugly.
I'm gonna see if it be just that.
The Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. Boy, some of these destination bowl games. Would love to have some of those to play in. The Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina against San Jose State, December 23rd at 10:30 from Honolulu.
Well, sentimental reasons. I'm going with San Jose State because they did recruit me quite a bit when I was in junior college. So I'm going with them.
Was that the grass we talked about during the season?
Where you go to sleep.
For those of you that weren't listening during our high school season, and I don't know why you wouldn't have been, I asked Dave about the best and worst fields he ever played on in his career. So we're talking high school, junior college, professionally. You said the Vet was the worst, and San Jose State was the best, right?
Oh, yeah, you could just rest and take a good nap. That's what you'll want to do. Why would you want to play on that field?
I will never get my grass that nice. All right, the Quick Lane Bowl from Detroit. While we go from Honolulu to Detroit, from one extreme to the other, Bowling Green in Minnesota. So is it Maction, or are we going to row the boat?
I'm rowing the boat. I'm going Minnesota.
I don't think the Gophers are that good, but here's the problem. Notoriously, Big Ten teams stink in bowl games.
Isn't that sad?
But
it's true.
Minnesota needs to beat a MAC school.
Yeah, they need to. Absolutely.
The ServPro First Responders Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Texas State, a program that hasn't been D1 all that long, against Rice. The day after Christmas at 5:30. Who do you like?
Well, you know what? Games like that, I like to root for certain teams, so I'm going to be rooting for Texas State. Take Rice out, so I'm taking them.
So is it more rooting for Texas State or against Rice?
That's a good question. No, I've seen them both, and they both can play, but I like Texas State.
In a game, if this were basketball, I think a lot more people would be interested. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl from beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, December 26th, 9 o'clock ESPN, Kansas and UNLV.
I'm taking Kansas.
You know what? UNLV, I mean, they just got beat at home in their conference championship game on Saturday. But wasn't it like 2 years ago they were one of the doormats of college football and they won, 8-9 games this year?
Yeah, they did.
They've had quite a turnaround with the program. If you're just tuning in, you're wondering what is going on. It is the annual College Football Bowl Spectacular. We're going to go through all 41 of these bowl games. We're doing it at pretty much a rapid pace till we get to the ones that, are going to involve ranked teams. And then we'll slow down and definitely talk about these a lot more. The Military Bowl, December 27th, 2 o'clock ESPN, Virginia Tech and Tulane.
Yeah, now both of these teams I've seen a couple times this year. I think Tulane, even though I think they lost this past week towards the end there, they have been during the season they look really good. So I'm gonna go with them.
I am too. I like their quarterback.
Yep.
Now, this next one is interesting as we get to the big names. And to me, it's the worst post-game celebration of any bowl game. Pop-Tarts, sports drink, all those kind of things. But when you win the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and I am a big fan of Duke's Mayo, let's not get that lost in this conversation. I do not want a giant jar of mayo dumped on me after a football game played in Charlotte.
Yeah.
North Carolina and West Virginia. Now, North Carolina is the betting favorite, but the question is, and let's drop this little caveat that you and I talked about. We know some players like Caleb Williams that's not going to play in their bowl game, but we haven't found out a lot. I wonder what year is the Carolina quarterback? He can go this year, right?
Yeah, he can go to pro. Yeah, he's projected to be the first or second pick. Caleb or him.
So I will take, based on the fact I don't believe he's going to play, the backup is inexperienced, like backups are. Somewhere, my friend John Rudder, the West Virginia alum, is cheering. I will take the Mountaineers in an upset.
Yeah, me too. Now, if we find out, do we have a caveat for that?
Right. It goes the other way. If he plays, we can switch.
Right. And we'll do that, put a little check, because that's why West Virginia can score. They definitely can score.
They kind of have a problem stopping people from doing that. But So we are going to stop right here, more than halfway through. We are just a few seconds away from taking a break. This is, as I mentioned, the 158th episode of By All Means here on Western Reserve Radio. After today, only 2 episodes left. Later on in the show, we'll tell you who's going to join me on next week's show in the first segment. There's a big news in local high school sports. We'll tell you about that later. By all means, we'll be right back.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
The Mahoning Valley's leader for golf, Milk Creek Golf Course, is now booking tee times for 2024. We offer stay and play opportunities available with 9 area hotel partners. For more information, visit our website at millcreekmetroparks.org. Also, look for new, exciting opportunities coming soon, including an indoor player development center with Trackman, an indoor Callaway club fitting center, and an Odyssey fitting studio in 2024. Follow us on Facebook at Milk Creek Golf Course or call 330-740-7112.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
How to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. By All Means continues right here on Western Reserve Radio. Coming up, third segment of 4. Matt Emsch, Just Football, Wednesdays here on Western Reserve Radio, will join us to preview the playoff. We now get to the interesting games. The DirecTV Holiday Bowl, Mr. Clark, number 15 at Louisville versus USC in San Diego, December 27th, 8 o'clock on Fox. No Caleb Williams in this game. What do you say?
Oh, Louisville. I was tempted to take them anyway, Louisville. because USC can just gives up so many points. But with Caleb, he can work some magic. No Caleb, it's Louisville for sure.
Did you hear USC hired their new defensive coordinator?
No, I didn't.
It's the defensive coordinator from UCLA. I was like, From hating them to loving them with a couple of zeros. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
I always said, if you're listening out there, I could call games for the University of Michigan for enough zeros. I could love any team for 4 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Any team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about moving to that state, but that's another story.
Unless you put some more zeros on it.
That's right. Like Woody. Woody wouldn't even buy gas when he was up there recruiting. He waited till he got to Toledo to buy gas. I love that story. The TexAC Texas Bowl, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma State.
Man, this is
in Houston, December 27th, 9 o'clock ESPN. I'm going to need multiple TVs for a few of these nights.
I'm telling you, boy. I mean, it's some decent matchups like that one.
So we got A&M, who's got a new head coach, versus I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah, I love him. I love Gundy. I remember Gundy all the way back to him playing quarterback for them.
Yeah, he's an alumni.
Yeah, oh yeah. He was their quarterback back in the day.
So this is, a virtual home game for A&M.
I know. I'm going to take them, too. It's hard to take. They just don't be looking right, though. They just don't look right to me.
This is where I gain a game. Give me OK State.
Yep.
All right. We've got the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. I wonder where they're playing this game. Boston, Massachusetts, December 28th, 11 a.m. Some coffee with your college football on the 28th. Ooh. Number 24, SMU versus Boston College. Again, a virtual home game for BC. But I'll take SMU.
Me too.
I think the ponies are back.
Mm-hmm. Well, I missed the Pony Express.
This game is my second biggest blowout of all the bowl games. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl from Yankee Stadium. Rutgers out of the Big Ten, Miami of Florida out of the ACC, December 28, 2:15 ESPN. I hate them, but give me the Hurricanes. Big.
I love them. So give me the Hurricanes. The thing about it, though, they don't like playing up there. They had to play in that Pinstripe Bowl before. They don't like playing at that time of the year, up in the cold. They don't really like it, but I'm still taking them.
The new favorite bowl game of mine, I will celebrate by having a couple of these tonight for a snack. It is the Pop-Tarts Bowl, NC State and Kansas State. Now, the thing about this, if I remember correctly, K-State's quarterback has entered the portal, and NC State's quarterback, he either declared for the draft or he entered the portal, something with him too.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of these teams are going to have their starting quarterback available for the game.
Yeah, I don't think so. This is interesting.
This is a tough one.
I always like Kansas State all the way back. Just their coach who is still the way they play.
Little Manhattan. What, Bill Self?
No.
I'm
talking about in football. What is his name? But he retired.
And then he came back.
Yeah, and you're right. He came back. And, I can't think of his name, but I want to take K-State, but this one got me all messed up.
The problem with K-State is their quarterback was pretty much their whole offense.
Yeah, I know.
So I'll take NC State because of that.
Yeah, that's true. That's the only problem right there. I guess I'll go that way too.
Not that this isn't a broken record, but the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, too many bowls on this list. The Valero Alamo Bowl, number 14 Arizona, number 12 Oklahoma. A great sports year for Arizona because the Wildcat basketball team is number 1 in the nation. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Wisconsin this Saturday, Purdue next Saturday. 2 tough tasks for the Wildcat basketball team. Oklahoma's quarterback has entered the portal.
Yeah, Dylan.
Arizona's starting quarterback got hurt. The backup, the freshman, came in, played great ball. Bear down. Give me the Wildcats.
Yep. Dylan Gabriel being gone, that might be a big-time problem.
The Tax Slayer Bowl, Jacksonville, Florida, December 29th at noon on ESPN. Clemson and Kentucky. Clemson salvaged what could have been a mess of a season early on.
They did.
To finish ranked and get a decent bowl game.
And was playing pretty strong towards the end. I'm gonna go with Clemson.
You know what? I will too. I was thinking, boy, I picked a lot of visitors, but being this is neutral site, that really doesn't matter.
Right.
The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, El Paso, Texas, December 29, 2 o'clock, CBS. Number 19, Oregon State. Number 16, Notre Dame. I do believe Uiagalelei has entered the portal.
Did he?
So I thought I heard that he did and will not be playing in this game against Notre Dame.
I'm taking Notre Dame.
And I have to. We'll just leave it at that. I want dinner tonight. I have to pick the Fighting Irish. The AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Memphis and Iowa State. In Memphis, December 29, 3:30, ESPN.
I'm taking Iowa State.
You know what? Okay, I'll take Iowa State. All right, now we can start talking.
Now this game is interesting.
Now we still have 5 minutes left in this segment, so I will tell you this much. I saw where Missouri was ranked maybe 5 weeks ago, and I hadn't seen them play. And I was like, that's Missouri. That's a basketball school. Yeah. Like, they're not, they haven't been good since Brad Smith was the quarterback.
Right.
And then I watched them play. I don't know. I mean, who knows how much Ohio State's going to have in that game of their firepower. But something in me tells me that the Ohio State backups are probably as good or better than the Missouri starters. So I think Ohio State wins this game. The last I saw, the line was around 7 or 8. I like Ohio State in a close game. Yeah. But again, you're talking about a game where, Henderson may not play. Marvin Harrison Jr. might not play. I was going to say, this is the defensive end that I always just absolutely destroy his name. JT. I don't know if he's going to play. They're all potential first-round picks. Coach Day said on Sunday, I expect everybody to play. You know what, Coach? Every coach expects everybody to play. Marvin Harrison is headed to the Downtown Athletic Club this weekend. If the man doesn't play, I can't hold it against him.
Right.
If it was the playoff, we might have to have a different conversation. But in the Cotton Bowl, it don't bother me. I like the Buckeyes by like 6.
Yeah, no. In Missouri, they are a good football team. Much better than I ever thought.
I needed to see the eye test with that game to really know how good they really were.
I just concerned about. I'm gonna still go with Ohio State. I'm gonna go with the higher ranked team, but I think it definitely could be a game that Missouri, if they're right, they could pull it off.
The Peach Bowl, number 11, Ole Miss, number 10, Penn State, Atlanta, Georgia, December 30th, noon, ESPN. I ask you one question. Is James Franklin still the head coach at Penn State?
Yeah, I guess.
Then give me Ole Miss. James Franklin, to me, and I've said this to you off
Ole
the
Miss
air.
Anyway, though. I'm taking them also. Ole Miss. I like them.
I said this to you, I think, all year off the air. James Franklin is John Cooper. It's the same coach. Can you recruit? Yes. Do you bring in great talent? Yes. But you just don't win the big one.
Right.
So I will pick against Penn State in that one. All right, got about 2 minutes before the break. Auburn in Maryland. I like the Big Ten upset here. Give me Tua leading the Terps to a win over Auburn.
Yeah, I like them. I do like Maryland. I really do, and I'm going to take them.
In the game, I don't think either one of these teams want to play in, so I don't know who's going to play, who's going to show up. Georgia has just better overall talent for me. Give me the Bulldogs.
Yeah. And they got the talent at the quarterback position. That'll do it right there.
I have no love lost for Florida State. But they got screwed by the committee. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
If you play every game and win it, how are you not in the playoffs?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you would figure that, but it's all about money. It's all about ratings. And if Jordan Travis was healthy,
different game.
They're in there. Without question, they're in there.
I mean, it's been done with the backup before. It's been done with a third-string quarterback, Cardell Jones. I'm talking about you.
Yep.
So that freshman's probably not going to win a national championship. He did not look great on Saturday night.
But how much better would he be the next time around when he has time to prepare and get ready?
Quickly, Toledo and Wyoming in the Barstool Bowl. Give me Toledo.
Yeah, I like them.
LSU and Wisconsin, LSU.
Oh, yes, LSU all the way.
The Verbo Fiesta Bowl, Oregon. I'm sorry for the Flames. Oregon's going to blow them out.
Well, they're going to be in flames. That's where they're going to be. And you know they're upset, Oregon too.
And the last game before the playoff, Iowa and Tennessee. If Tennessee scores 17 points, Iowa will lose. Give me the Volunteers.
Yeah, me too. A team that can't score, Tennessee can.
So we will take our next break. After the last break, we'll let you know who that person is that's going to join the show next week. Again, like I mentioned, if you follow high school sports in the Valley, you heard this name because something big happened with this person. He will join us next Tuesday in the next to last episode. We'll come back, preview the playoff next, by all means.
The Mahoning Valley's leader for golf, Milk Creek Golf Course, is now booking tee times for 2024. We offer stay and play opportunities available with 9 area hotel partners. For more information, visit our website at millcreekmetroparks.org. Also, look for new, exciting opportunities coming soon, including an indoor player development center with Trackman, an indoor Callaway club fitting center, and an Odyssey fitting studio in 2024. Follow us on Facebook at Milk Creek Golf Course or call 330-740-7112.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier. Then make sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take 1.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Miss an episode of By All Means, and you could miss a lot.
That's where it all begins, with the rich sports history that we have in the Valley. We're going to talk national, we're going to talk regional, but it all begins here at home. So that is where a lot of those topics and conversations that we have with you every Tuesday are going to come from.
By All Means, Tuesdays at 5, right here on Western Reserve Radio and streaming live on westernreserveradio.com.
This is Everett Fitzhugh, the radio voice of the NHL Seattle Kraken, and you're listening to the home of the Youngstown Phantoms, Western Reserve Radio.
Back here on a By All Means, brought to you by Mill Creek Golf Course. Visit millcreekmetroparks.org to book your tee times for 2024. Thank you for tuning in to episode 38 of season 4 of By All Means. Just 2 episodes left in this show for now. We'll see what happens. And someone that's going to continue the mantle of talk shows here on Western Reserve Radio is our guy, Matt Emsch, who joins us from home. Mr. Emsch, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Mark. Thank you for having me. And, I hope you do change your mind because you are one of the few legends still left in the area. So you have to keep it going since Cappy isn't here anymore.
You know what? I wanted to bring this up because you and I have heard this, and Dave Clark and I talked about it off the air for just a second before we get to the games. I heard your uncle for years when he was my boss say, Maslin never won a state championship on the field.
Yep.
And in the year
he always said it. If he'd say it once, he said it a million times to me. The only one of the only state championship teams that regularly flaunt that they've won multiple ones that have never played for it. Well, that can't be said anymore.
And you know what? In the year that unfortunately we lose Cappy, they win a state championship. I don't know if ironic is the right word, but there's something there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sure he had a little bit of a frown on his face looking down on it. But you know what? I said I'm sorry to him when I, was watching. I actually feel kind of good for them. That's something that has been a huge gorilla on the back of that great story program in Ohio and the country for years. So for them to get that off, that's all they talked about on the air was that monkey on their back. So, I'm glad they did that.
All right, Matt, we got Dave here in studio. Before we get to talking about the playoff, I just kind of want to give everybody a moment. And Matt, we'll start with you. And we kind of mentioned this before. I have no love lost for Florida State, but I do not like what the committee did. All you can do is win every game put in front of you. They won every game. They won a conference championship. Was it pretty? No, of course not. It was ugly, but it was still a win. They deserve to be in the field, in my opinion. What do you say?
First, hello, Mr. Clark. I'm glad to hear your voice. It's a pleasure as always. And then I agree with you, Mark. The roles that they set, are pretty clear. Florida State did everything in their power to be included in this playoff. Yet again, when the SEC is looking like they might be on the outside looking in, something happens that their teams get thrown in. Yes, I heard the excuse about, they're looking at the big picture, the formula that's being plugged in. Florida State is down some of their best players, but hey, you set the rules. They did everything they're supposed to do. They're in the same conference as Clemson. You're going to tell me Clemson went undefeated, they wouldn't be in there?
Yeah. I just think that I know they wasn't going to follow it. We talked on our show on Saturday, me and Pat, that wasn't going to happen with Travis Jordan or Jordan Travis down. There's no way that they were going to allow that team to be in there because it's all about ratings. It's all about money. Mm-hmm. And they weren't going to follow protocol. Plus, it's the last year. So they was going to do whatever they wanted to do because there's no more playoff system the way we have it now.
If Burmeister would have played in that game instead of the third string, would that have made any difference, or just because no Travis, no Florida State?
Yeah, I really believe with no Travis, that's why. Even though the other guy that was in there, he still was kind of shaky too, but I still think he might have been better. Like I said, give him time to prepare and really get settled into this, I think it would have been better, but I just knew that was going to happen. And, Alabama beat Georgia, so I can get that in a way, but I don't get Texas, even though they played well. I just don't see them jumping Florida State. That's the one I didn't see.
I mean, I guess their win over Alabama was weighed extremely heavily then.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was just going to say, Mark, actually. Was that win over Alabama is what got them in.
Yep, absolutely, because they look at this. SEC is going to get somebody anyway. It's one of the best conferences, no doubt about it. So with them beating Georgia, they're in. But how can you leave Texas out when they beat Alabama? And I think that's what they looked at. They looked at that, but I still think they needed if they were going to do it according to what the rules is, if they guidelines that they had, Florida State would be in.
I almost feel like, Matt, I don't know about you, that they did this and it was almost a way of saying, see, this is why we need to go to 12 next year like we are, because of situations like this, and almost justified the expansion to the field.
It absolutely does. And let's all be honest with each other. There are so many teams that if they had it going with 12 right now, most likely we probably would not see one of the four. I mean, there's a great chance one of the four would win it all, but we know how it goes in playoff systems. A lot of the times, the ones that you think are going to win it all don't end up winning it because anything can happen on any given Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, it will definitely, it'll be interesting. I mean, like I saw the brackets. If the 12-team field was taking place this year, Ohio State would be playing Penn State in the first round.
Right.
That'd be an interesting rematch.
Like I said earlier in the show, if James Franklin's still the head coach, I'll take any team playing Penn State in a big game.
But I'm glad this system is over, because think of it from the beginning. I remember us doing a show when they first came out with it, and I said, how flawed is this? The Final Four, but you got 5 power conferences. So that means one of the power conferences is automatically going to be left out. And if you take 2, let's say from the SEC, there might be 2 left out. That was a flawed system from the beginning.
Good thing now there's not 5 power conferences anymore.
Right.
But we're going to 12, so that doesn't matter.
Yep. I'm glad, though. I'm glad we got a regular system, though.
To the Rose Bowl, guys, on New Year's Day, 5 o'clock, ESPN, Pasadena, California, number 4, Alabama, number 1, Michigan. A lot of things with this game, but I think the first thing that jumps out to me was how the student athletes from Michigan reacted when they found out they were playing Alabama. They don't want any piece of the Crimson Tide. I feel like by that reaction, they were already worried about playing Bama in the first round.
Well, how can you not be? I mean, you have a team who just beat the 2-time defending national champion in Georgia. They are playing phenomenally, and they are one of the teams that no one ever wants to see in the playoffs.
That's right.
This is a tough game for me. I hate both these teams. Of course, being a Notre Dame and Ohio State fan. By the way, good job, Mark, picking the Irish in their bowl. I agree with you, why you did it.
Kind of had to.
I'm personally leaning for the Alabama Crimson Tide because Mark Wolford, ex-Ursuline YSU coach, he is their offensive line coach, so I have a reason to pull for the Tide for that one.
So is that who you're taking?
You know what? This is a really difficult game for me. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan beats them a la Ohio State 2014 against Alabama. Do I think Michigan is as good as Ohio State was in 2014? I do not. But they are so well balanced. I could see them winning that game. I'm just going to give the edge to Alabama, so I'm going to pick the Tide for that one.
Yeah, yes.
I agree with pretty much everything you said. They had some issues with quarterback at the beginning of the year. They couldn't figure it out. Milroe just kind of caught fire and kind of figured things out. I like Alabama, but I like them comfortably. I like them by about 10.
Yeah, close.
But the problem with this for me is when I watch a game, I want to have some type of rooting interest, whether it's fantasy football, a team I love, a team I hate. What do you do when you're watching 2 teams that you hate? Of course,
that's why I pointed out Mark Wolford. That's the only reason for me.
So I'll take Alabama as well, Dave.
Yeah, I think Alabama's going to win this game, even though I do see a scenario that Michigan, with them being so balanced, that they could control things. They just look better than other previous years. Just the way they play. They stay under control. You could see nervousness sometime in them in certain situations in other years. This year, they just seem just calm about stuff. And this may be the year they can get through it, but Alabama's on fire right now. And if they can keep
that
it rolling,
offensive line for Michigan, and Coach said all 5 of those guys will be playing in the pros. So that is a huge thing for someone to say.
Yeah, their offensive line that's insane.
Their quarterback's phenomenal.
Yep.
The Sugar Bowl, Texas and Washington from New Orleans. That's the 8:45 game on New Year's Day. Number 3, Texas. Number 2, Washington. I think just thinking about this game is making defensive coordinators have nightmares based on the way these two offenses have played the last couple weeks. And it's hard. This game is hard for me because Ewers came to Ohio State. He left. He's had success. He's coming back. Penix played at Indiana, was okay at Indiana, went to Washington, and the lefty's been phenomenal. I know Washington is 2 and Texas is 3, but I feel like I'm picking an upset. I'll take Washington. Matt?
I agree with you, too. I think this could be a very high scoring game. I love what Sarkisian said about that. He would play his team up against anyone. Texas is playing so well right now. I just look at the quality of wins, the way that they've been playing. That defense, even though it was at the beginning of the year against Alabama, they have just come into their own. They're playing a lot like the old Texas Longhorns that were, with Vince Young playing very confident, strong. It's been a long time since Texas has been in a position to maybe play for a championship. I'm going with the Longhorns.
Dave?
I'll go the opposite way. I'm going to go with Washington. The Huskies this time. I think I am. I was surprised. I really thought Oregon was going to hand it to them. And they showed me something.
I was shocked that they were as big a favorite as they were going into that game. I'm like, you lost head-to-head. How are you a 10-point favorite?
Yeah, I looked at it. I thought they were going to win. I did. I didn't think they'd blow them out. I picked Washington in the points, but I still thought Oregon would win the game. But, they were right there with them, took them all the way. So I'm thinking that maybe this is just the year for them, but it's going to be a tough struggle. What I've seen with Texas, it's going to be a struggle. We're going to see where Penix is at in this game. It's going to prove a lot for both.
Been a long time think about it. Washington was in a national championship. Not since what was his name? Steve Entman was playing there.
Who was that?
Entman.
Steve Entman with the defensive lineman, I believe.
Was it way back then? Since the last time?
That's the last national championship they won, I believe.
Okay. I was trying to think that they get to the playoffs one time since we had this playoff system.
I'm just glad Penix is going to graduate when Washington joins the Big Ten. We don't have to worry about him anymore.
Yeah,
Penix is gone. Bo Nix is gone. Welcome to the Big Ten.
Right.
Let's see what you got now.
You're going to see some epic matchups between Ohio State and USC. That's why I really want Notre Dame joining the Big Ten. You'll see some incredible rivalries.
You're just going to end up calling it like the Big 45.
You would love Notre Dame to go there, wouldn't you?
Oh, I didn't wait for that my whole life.
Yeah. I don't think they won't do it.
No, they just renewed that contract with NBC. They're not going anywhere for a while.
Yeah, It's all about money.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen either one of those teams enough to really make a truly educated, a pick about it. I just have a gut feeling. I'm just going to go with it.
Matt, we got to run. Hold on. We'll talk to you after the break.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
The Mahoning Valley's leader for golf, Milk Creek Golf Course, is now booking tee times for 2024. We offer stay and play opportunities available with 9 area hotel partners. For more information, visit our website at millcreekmetroparks.org. Also, look for new, exciting opportunities coming soon, including an indoor player development center with Trackman, an indoor Callaway Club fitting center, and an Odyssey fitting studio in 2024. Follow us on Facebook at Milk Creek Golf Course or call 330-740-7112.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part of their live weekly shows, as well as all of the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the GDFL. Find them at westernreserveradio.com. Tune in and the Live 365 app to be a part of the area's sports conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio and on Twitter at WR_radio.
Miss an episode of By All Means, and you can miss a lot.
To the radio play-by-play voice and our buddy back from here at Youngstown, it is the voice Fitz. Everett Fitzhugh, my friend, how are you?
Man, it feels good to hear your voice again, Mark. Everything's going well, and definitely excited to be back on the airwaves briefly for here in Youngstown.
By All Means, Tuesdays at 5, right here on Western Reserve Radio and streaming live on westernreserveradio.com.
Let's be real. The odds of a high school athlete getting a college scholarship and making it to the pros are pretty slim. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to dream of becoming a pro athlete, even a famous one. But that's not why I play. My reason why? I love the competition.
My reason why is community.
My reason why is leadership.
My reason why is to challenge myself.
My reason why is love for the game.
And hey, if we don't make it to the pros or onto the cover of Sports Illustrated, that's okay, because there's every reason to believe we'll excel in something even bigger than sports. We'll excel in life.
There are lots of great reasons to play high school sports. Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio at westernreserveradio.com on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
Time to wrap up By All Means, and before we do, let's get you with some breaking news. Major League Baseball just conducted their draft lottery, and for the first time in franchise history, the Cleveland Guardians will have the number 1 pick in the 2024 Major League Baseball draft. Matt, we are almost out of time. Who do you like in the national championship?
I'm going to have to go with Alabama's going to get one back, but I do have to, say one more time, even though it hurts to say it, I will not be surprised if Michigan is there. I won't, but I'm going to go with the Tide.
All right, Matt, appreciate your time as always. Thank you very much, sir. Dave, who do you like?
I'm going right with Matt with that. I picked Alabama and Washington. I'm taking Alabama all the way.
I would love to see Washington beat them, but I have a feeling that has the potential to be ugly. Athlete to athlete, Washington's good, but they don't have the athletes that Alabama does.
Right.
So I think that has the potential to be a blowout. And as we get ready to get out of here, let me just say that we'll be joined by Mike Pavlansky. The former head coach of the Canfield Cardinals joins us on next Tuesday's show. 2 episodes left. Thank you for listening to By All Means right here on Western Reserve Radio. We will talk to you next week. it's Mark Means, host of By All Means, Tuesdays at 5, right here on Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on Western Reserve Radio.
Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett is out indefinitely. He underwent surgery for a high right ankle sprain less than 24 hours after a 24-10 loss to Arizona. Pickett was injured in the second quarter when Cardinals defensive end Jonathan Ledbetter fell on his ankle at the end of a 2-yard scramble. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin said Mitch Trubisky will start for the Steelers when they host New England this Thursday. Monday Night Football, the Bengals outlasted the Jaguars 34-31. Evan McPherson was the hero. He connected on a 48-yard field goal with a minute 45 left in overtime to win it. NHL in overtime, the Flyers beat the Penguins 2-1. Sean Couturier's sixth goal of the season came 3:55 into the extra session to win it for the Flyers. Sidney Crosby had Pittsburgh's only goal. That was his 15th of the season. For lightning fast updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of North America's most popular sports apps. That's the Sports